In recent years, rabbit farming has boomed across Kenya, providing thousands of small-scale farmers with a sustainable and profitable livelihood. Millions of rabbits raised in Kenya have helped this country ensure food security and more sustainable lives for its people. In times of economic challenges in Kenya, rabbit farming has emerged as an alternative source of income that requires little space, investment, and labor. Farmers across Kenya have turned to this method to improve their financial security, provide food for their families, and increase their access to local markets. Rabbit farming has become increasingly popular as demand for rabbit meat has skyrocketed in both domestic and international markets. Rabbit meat is prized for its leanness, low cholesterol, and high protein content, making it a healthier alternative to beef, pork, or chicken. This demand has encouraged many farmers to take up rabbit farming, realizing the profitability of the business. In addition, the cost of raising rabbits is significantly lower than other livestock, such as cows or goats, making it an attractive livestock industry for small-scale farmers. For farmers in Kenya, rabbit farming not only provides meat for local consumers, but also exports abroad, especially to European countries where there is high demand for this product. One of the most attractive features of rabbit farming is the relatively low cost of starting a farm. Rabbits require less space and feed than other livestock, and their breeding cycle is extremely fast. A single rabbit can produce multiple litters every 2 to 3 months, allowing farmers to build up their herds quickly. The rapid turnover rate means that farmers can scale their businesses efficiently and generate income within a few months of starting a farm. Unlike larger animals that require extensive grazing areas or intensive feeding, rabbits thrive in simple enclosures such as wire mesh cages, and their diet consists primarily of vegetable scraps, hay, and grains. This makes rabbit farming particularly accessible to Kenyan farmers who may not have extensive land or resources. Therefore, to start a rabbit farm, Kenyan farmers only need a small initial investment in housing, feed, and breeding stock. They can raise a large number of rabbits and generate a stable income. Rabbit farming is not only a source of income for Kenyan farmers, but also plays an important role in addressing food security in rural communities. The nutritional value of rabbit meat provides a healthy and affordable source of protein for families. Rabbit farmers in Kenya say they can provide a steady source of protein for their families, helping to reduce malnutrition rates among children and populations that are often facing hunger. So, How do Kenyan farmers get access to such rabbit farming practices? The success of rabbit farming in Kenya is due in part to the many training and support programs available to farmers. Farmers' organizations or NGOs have recognized the potential of rabbit farming and have provided technical training and resources to farmers interested in the activity. These programs play a vital role in helping farmers learn best rabbit farming practices, including breeding, housing, feeding, and disease management. Furthermore, cooperatives and farmer associations have played an important role in connecting rabbit farmers to markets, both domestically and internationally. By working together, farmers can sell their products collectively, ensuring better prices and more reliable income. In some areas, cooperatives have also set up processing facilities, allowing farmers to add value to their products by producing rabbit sausages, jerky, and other processed meats. Rabbit meat processing plants in Kenya play a vital role in transforming the country's growing rabbit farming industry into a sustainable business. These plants provide the necessary infrastructure for safe and hygienic rabbit meat processing. Modern facilities in Kenya adhere to strict health and safety standards, ensuring that meat is processed for both domestic consumption and export to international markets. The process begins with the slaughter of the rabbits, followed by the removal of skin, viscera, and careful cutting of the meat. Specialized equipment ensures uniformity, while cold storage maintains the freshness of the product until it is processed. Some establishments also offer value-added products such as rabbit sausages, jerky, and other processed meats, which cater to the higher demand of the population. The expanding rabbit meat market is also profitable for Kenyan farmers. We have just watched how Kenyan farmers get rich from rabbit farming. How do you feel about today's video? Leave your comments below to let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive the latest notifications. And now, goodbye and see you again!
Every year, billions of rabbits are raised on farms around the world for meat and fur. Due to high demand, rabbits are transported in large numbers from farm to farm or from breeding to processing plants every day. So do you know how people can transport millions of rabbits easily and quickly? In today's video, let's explore with us. Airplanes are the fastest means of transport in the world, so they are one of the most popular means of transport for pets. Due to their small size and ability to move quickly, rabbits are placed in plastic boxes or iron cages before boarding the plane to ensure safety during transportation. Rabbit boxes must comply with regulations and must have enough oxygen and maintain a stable temperature during transportation. Normally, transporting live animals by plane requires very strict regulations. A health certificate from a veterinary facility and a vaccination certificate are required. Therefore, if you want to transport pets or any animal, you should prepare the necessary procedures. Rabbits are also transported by truck or car to long-distance areas. However, transporters need to follow certain rules when transporting pets to ensure their health and safety. If transporting when moving from one area to another, rabbits that meet health or vaccination requirements can be transported, because the process of transporting livestock is also one of the causes of spreading diseases. For commercial rabbit farms, transportation is mainly done by specialized trucks. Thousands of rabbits harvested from the farm will be transported to the processing plant in large livestock transport trucks. Each plastic cage can hold about 5 rabbits, then each cage is stacked on the truck to save space. The way to transport rabbits is also quite similar to other poultry. Moreover, the transport trucks are specially designed to help the animals be most comfortable and reduce stress. At the processing plant, each rabbit is unloaded from the truck and begins a processing line. Here the world's largest meat processing plant will be built with a large capacity. In fact, the lines will be designed tightly and according to processing requirements. In particular, they are manufactured according to the standard's current hygiene regulations and compliance with the Animal Welfare Act. The rabbits are slaughtered in a humane and painless manner that does not affect the quality of the meat. Just like other slaughtered animals, all rabbits are then put on a hanging rack and turn the body over. During this stage, the rabbits will be skinned, then they will be washed several times and the organs removed. After removing the internal organs, the rabbit's body is slowly and carefully cut into many small parts. And finally, it is packaged and stored at cold temperatures to deliver to consumers. It's really not difficult to slaughter and process rabbits, right? The most expensive part is probably the rabbit's thigh bone, so this part is sold on the market at a fairly high price. In addition, other parts of the rabbit such as ribs, rabbit ears, lean meat, and fatty meat from rabbits are also products used to make many delicious and high-class dishes. Some typical dishes from rabbits are stir-fried rabbit meat, steamed rabbit meat with lemon leaves, salt-roasted rabbit meat, and many more. A rabbit leg can provide 30% of the daily omega-3 requirement, 3 times higher than other meats, and has almost no cholesterol. Therefore, rabbit meat will be an effective solution to prevent cardiovascular diseases. In addition, the abundant vitamin B groups, B1, B2, B6, B12, in it will protect the nervous system and help muscles develop well, beneficial for the cell regeneration process. Did you know? Rabbit fur is also the main raw material to create valuable products such as shoes, clothes, fur hats, etc. This is considered a rare and high-end item on the market. Once the processing machine has enough rabbit fur, they will sell it to large fashion factories or people who love handmade clothing. The products from these little rabbits are amazing. Right? So how do farms raise rabbits to produce millions of tons of rabbit meat and fur? On rabbit farms, instead of raising them outdoors or in greenhouses, they choose to raise them in cages. Raising rabbits in cages does not allow for their natural behaviors such as digging, hiding and searching for food. However, rabbit farmers will provide everything they need here and do not affect their health. During the development process, rabbits are carefully cared for. They will be fed food such as hay or nutritious pellets so that the rabbits can grow quickly. Besides, they will also provide water for the rabbits every day using an automatic system. Rabbits are fast-growing animals with good reproductive ability. They reach slaughter weight after about 3 to 3.5 months. Each year, a female rabbit gives birth to 6 to 7 litters and produces 90 to 140 kilograms of rabbit meat per year, so rabbit farmers often gain high profits and expand their farms quickly.
When it comes to Egypt, most of us will surely think of the pyramid symbol that has existed for thousands of years. But few people know that this country is also famous for the most unique pigeon towers in the world. These towers were built in all areas of Egypt for the purpose of raising pigeons. So now, let's explore with us the unique way of raising pigeons of Egyptian farmers. These birds were prized for their meat, which was once considered a major source of protein for the Egyptian people. As a result, pigeon farming is still considered one of the most important industries in Egypt today. They are kept mainly in unique towers that you won't find anywhere else. The pigeon towers were carefully designed to house hundreds, sometimes thousands of pigeons. The towers were made of mud bricks, which helped to create a cool environment during Egypt's scorching summer days. Each tower has small niches, often meticulously crafted in rows, where pigeons can nest. These niches provide ideal conditions for pigeon breeding, ensuring a steady supply of birds, pigeons, and their byproducts. Depending on the region, farmers build different pigeon tower structures, but they all have the same function. Most are built in a honeycomb structure, allowing birds to easily fly inside. The towers are usually cylindrical or conical in shape, ensuring stability and ease of construction. Openings at the top of the tower allow pigeons to enter and exit freely, and the height of the pigeon towers also minimizes the risk of being attacked by predators such as snakes or wild birds. Farmers use different materials such as palm leaves and wooden sticks to create landing spaces for pigeons, making them comfortable to perch. This design also functions to make it easier for farmers to collect manure from the base of the tower, which can then be distributed to the fields as fertilizer. Millions of pigeons live in thousands of pigeon towers built across Egypt. Although the towers are more complex to build than closed pigeon farms, Egyptian farmers still commonly apply this form of farming because it has many unique advantages. Pigeons living in towers have been studied to have better welfare because they are free to fly and forage. One of the main reasons why pigeon towers flourished in Egypt was the use of pigeon droppings as fertilizer. Rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, pigeon droppings were considered superior to other fertilizers. Egyptian farmers used the droppings to increase soil fertility in the Nile Delta, allowing them to grow more abundant crops such as wheat, barley, and vegetables. The use of pigeon droppings became an essential aspect of Egyptian agriculture, especially after the annual flooding of the Nile. When the waters receded, farmers would apply pigeon droppings to their fields, ensuring that the soil remained rich for the next growing season. Pigeon farming and pigeon tower construction brought many economic and social benefits to the Egyptian people. First, pigeons are a relatively low-maintenance livestock option. They have few resources for food and shelter, but produce valuable products. This makes pigeon farming an attractive business for small-scale farmers, because it provides a steady source of income with little initial investment. Pigeon meat is highly nutritious and is commonly consumed by Egyptians of all social classes. Pigeon meat is often stewed, roasted, or dried for preservation. Pigeons are also traded in local markets, creating an economic source of income around these pigeon farms. In rural Egypt, pigeon farming has become a community activity, with families and villages working together to build towers and manage pigeons. Not only does it help the local economy, it also helps stabilize the lives of farmers. The construction of pigeon towers in ancient Egypt was a unique and diverse activity, closely linked to the agricultural, economic, and religious life of the country. These towers not only provided a reliable source of food and fertilizer, but also reflected the cultural and spiritual values of the Egyptian people. For many years, Japan has dominated the global cultured pearl market, bringing hundreds of millions of dollars in economic value to farmers. Pearls are small but possess unique beauty, making their value increasingly high. So, how do the Japanese maintain and develop this special economic industry? Let's explore pearl farms in Japan in today's video. Oysters and freshwater mussels have a natural defense mechanism, secreting nacreous substances to cover foreign objects that enter inside, thereby forming pearls. But unfortunately, not all oysters or mussels contain pearls, and finding natural pearls is very difficult. This led to the development of pearl farming in the early 20th century. Kokichi Mikimoto, the father of the modern pearl industry, succeeded with the Pinctada Fukata oyster, also known as the Akoya pearl oyster. Pearl farming began with the cultivation of Akoya pearl oysters. Most of them were raised artificially, then the healthiest were selected for further care. When the oyster larvae developed into juveniles and reached a size of 2 to 3 millimeters, they were transferred to fine mesh cages and suspended on aquaculture rafts in the natural ocean. Young oysters grow by eating natural plankton, but they often stick together into balls. Therefore, fishermen will have to split the shell and remove the rest so that the oysters can grow better. After about a year, their size increases and they are transferred to larger nets. 2 years later, they are transferred to mother oyster nets, continuously removing the attached organisms to promote growth. When the mother oysters reach the size for surgical breeding, they are placed in special baskets and hung on rafts to reduce physiological activity, avoiding surgical shock. Then, the cutting and sewing process to collect the pieces will take place. Cutting and sewing is an important process affecting the survival rate and quality of the pearl. The work of inserting the nucleus into the mother oyster usually begins from April to October, when the water temperature becomes warmer. Before implanting the nucleus, the mother oyster is opened with special equipment. The implantation process involves inserting a piece of shell and nucleus into the mother oyster's gonad, which secretes nacre to create pearls. After the surgery, the oyster is cared for and restored in calm waters for about 20 days. If the core does not fall out, the oyster will continue to be cultured for about the next 2 years and checked by X-ray. The mother oysters will be fixed to a net and hung at sea at the appropriate density, ensuring adequate food and oxygen. During this time, the work of removing debris from the oyster shell is still carried out regularly. December to January, when the sea temperature drops below 13 degrees Celsius, is the ideal time to harvest pearls, because this is when the pearls have the most beautiful luster. However, of the 100,000 oysters harvested each year, only about 5% produce high-quality pearls. The majority of pearls collected are of average or worthless quality. After each harvest, only a small portion of the oysters continue to be cultured with artificial pearls. The rest cannot survive. Therefore, Japanese fishermen can use the oyster meat as food or organic fertilizer for crops. In addition, the oyster shells are not wasted. They can be made into jewelry or buttons called mother of pearl. Shell parts that are not suitable for mother of pearl can be crushed into chicken feed, helping to supplement calcium. These methods will limit the negative impact on water quality and the environment around the farm. Akoya pearls are famous for their luster and variety of sizes. Originally considered a vulgar copy of natural pearls, they have since become popular. In Japanese culture, pearls have great significance, being considered a symbol of purity and innocence, and a talisman for fishermen. Japan can produce about 20 tons of cultured pearls a year, bringing in about 16.6 billion yen, $111 million, and is determined to achieve a higher target in the following years. However, that figure is still far from its peak in the late 1980s, when Japan produced about 70 tons of pearls worth nearly $600 million. In the future, the pearl farming industry in Japan will continue to grow, as it is one of the country's main export items. The pearl farming industry in Japan is still bringing positive values to the national economy. With modern techniques, they have created the largest and brightest pearls, helping Japan become a major center of the global cultured pearl trade. Xinjiang is considered the region with the harshest weather in China, with summer temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius but dropping rapidly at night. Due to the high temperature difference, agricultural crops are difficult to adapt to in this area. But Jujube is a new breakthrough for farmers here and helps them change their lives. Let's explore with us now how farmers in Xinjiang get rich from Jujube farms. The jujube is a native fruit of China and has been cultivated for over 4,000 years. It plays a major role in the culture, medicine, and economy of the country. From fresh consumption to drying or traditional medicine, jujubes play an important role in the cuisine and health of the Chinese people. Xinjiang is known as a land rich in light and heat resources, especially the Tarim Basin in southern Xinjiang. This place has long sunshine, drought, little rain, large temperature difference between day and night, which is beneficial for nutrient accumulation. Pests and diseases are not easy to occur, very suitable for jujube to grow completely naturally and organically. Therefore, this area has become an ideal place to grow jujube trees, while other crops are difficult to grow due to the high temperature. Jujube has become the main agricultural crop for farmers in this area. Proper irrigation and pest control are also important. To ensure the quality of the fruit, large-scale farms use both chemical and organic methods to prevent pests. By introducing natural predators such as ladybugs to deter harmful insects. Xinjiang's total jujube output currently accounts for 90% of China's supply, with millions of tons harvested each year. In particular, according to statistics, the jujube growing and processing industry provides jobs for more than 30 million Chinese people. Jujubes are usually harvested for the first time from the 3rd to 4th year after planting. Starting from the second crop, they will be harvested once a year. Harvesting time is very important because the fruit needs to reach maximum maturity to develop its characteristic sweetness and ensure the flavor of the fruit. Harvesting is done manually or with the help of mechanical shakers to ensure minimal damage to the fruit. After harvesting, tons of jujubes are transported to processing plants every day and processed using various methods, depending on consumer demand. Processing is an important aspect as it adds value to the fruit and allows for long-term storage. The main method of processing jujubes is drying. Most jujubes are dried after harvest because dried jujubes are the most commonly consumed type. In order to get the dried jujube products to meet the standards and taste, many farmers often dry them under the sun. Sunlight. With natural heat and light, large quantities of jujubes will become dry after just a few days of drying. However, modern factories now use large-scale dryers to ensure processing time, faster transformation, and consistent product quality. In addition, jujube is also an ingredient in the confectionery industry such as jam, candy, etc. If you travel to China, you will easily see products such as Jujube jam and Jujube candy sold in many supermarkets or grocery stores. Jujube is also a valuable medicinal herb in traditional Chinese medicine, used to treat insomnia, digestive problems, and improve overall health. Nowadays, pharmaceutical companies also often extract bioactive compounds from Jujube to produce medicinal supplements. With many great benefits, the demand for Jujube consumption is increasing year by year, making it one of the key industries in China, bringing in profits of up to billions of dollars each year. The Jujube industry in China not only contributes significantly to the agricultural economy, but also plays a key role in the country's export market. With the growing global health demand, Jujube products are exported to Asian, European, and North American countries. Regions such as Xinjiang and Hebei have become major hubs for Jujube production and processing, with modern processing plants established to handle large volumes of the fruit. The Chinese government has also supported the expansion of the Jujube industry through subsidies and technological advancements, ensuring that small-scale farmers can compete in the global market.
Have you ever thought that garbage can become a valuable resource? And can chickens live healthily on the leftover food that we throw away every day? Sounds like a crazy idea, right? But in fact, this is a very reasonable and sustainable solution, not only helping to save costs, but also contributing to environmental protection. Let's explore this unique chicken farming model and the unexpected benefits it brings. You will probably be surprised to know that every year in the world, up to 1 billion tons of food is wasted, equivalent to 1/3 of the food produced. Not only is this a waste of resources, it also has a serious impact on the environment and the economy. Food waste can release large amounts of methane, an extremely dangerous greenhouse gas. So how can we effectively solve this problem? The answer may come from chickens. Yes, you heard it right. You might be thinking, how can chickens help solve the problem of food waste? But the truth is that we can feed chickens the leftovers that we usually throw away. So instead of throwing food scraps in the trash, we will turn them into an extremely nutritious source of food for chickens. Not only do chickens provide us with delicious eggs and meats, but their manure can also become valuable organic fertilizer. Chickens are quite similar to us in that they are omnivores. They will eat everything from leftover vegetables and fruits to old grains, bread, and even leftover processed foods. A small flock of chickens, only about 6 chickens, can eat up to 60 pounds of leftovers per month. And did you know that chickens can eat up to 1/4 to 1/3 pound of leftovers per day? No need to worry about spending money on chicken feed anymore, because they will help you clean up and save you money. To effectively raise chickens from food waste, farm design is extremely important. A chicken farm on a landfill needs to have a spacious and airy space where chickens can move freely and eat food waste. This area needs to be divided into areas such as a feeding area, a nesting area, and a manure collection area. In addition, there needs to be a system to collect food waste from sources such as restaurants, markets, or from families. These foods must be classified, and only safe, unspoiled food should be fed to chickens. In addition, to ensure that chickens grow healthily and have good quality eggs and meat, a reasonable diet with adequate vitamins and minerals is needed. And did you know, chicken manure is not just something we need to clean up. After eating leftovers, chickens will contribute great value to your land. Chicken manure not only provides nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, but also increases organic matter in the soil, helping plants grow better, bringing bumper crops. If you're gardening, chicken manure is black gold that helps increase soil quality, bringing bumper crops without having to spend money on industrial fertilizers. With the right composting process, chicken manure can become organic fertilizer, helping gardening sustainably and saving costs for households. A perfect cycle. So, how does chicken manure become a safe, quality source of compost? Chicken manure combined with organic waste through the digging process of chickens will become dry and porous. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is the chickens themselves who have worked to turn their waste into organic fertilizer for plants. For compost to decompose, it needs oxygen. The more air you provide, the faster it decomposes. Composting is a labor-intensive job, but chickens can do at least 1/4 of that work for you. A single chicken can flatten a large pile of manure in 2 days, so you can imagine what a flock of chickens can do for your farm's compost pile. Applying the model of raising chickens from leftover food not only helps reduce food waste, but also creates a sustainable cycle. Leftover food becomes chicken feed. Chickens provide us with eggs and meat. Chicken manure helps improve the soil to grow more food. This model not only saves costs for farmers, but also minimizes negative impacts on the environment. Chicken manure will provide valuable nutrients to the soil, helping plants grow better without the need for industrial fertilizers. This is a closed cycle from leftover food to useful products for humans and the environment. So, from the pile of waste that we often throw away, chickens not only help reduce food waste, but also bring many benefits to the environment and the community. Don't let waste become a burden. Let chickens help us turn it into a valuable resource, promoting sustainable agriculture.
The past few days have been perhaps the worst for farmers in Florida, USA, as Hurricane Helena has just passed. The scariest thing is that before they could recover, an even stronger hurricane hit. The next storm to hit was Hurricane Milton, with terrifying winds. Storm after storm has caused misery for thousands of American farmers as their farms, crops, and homes were destroyed. This shows the power of nature. No matter how terrible it is, it can still cripple the economy of a superpower for years. Even in an era of advanced science and technology, humans cannot withstand devastating natural disasters. Within 20 days, the United States had to face consecutive disasters from two storms, Helena and Milton, which are considered the strongest storms in 100 years and could cause hundreds of billions of dollars in damage to the United States. Millions of people were evacuated from the storm's eye for safety, but livestock, poultry, and millions of tons of farm produce were destroyed. According to some reports, more than $14.8 billion in crop and livestock production was affected. Nearly 100,000 farms were affected by the massive storm. According to preliminary statistics, poultry was hit hardest by Hurricane Helene. Poultry production is the dominant agricultural industry in the region, with an estimated $6.3 billion worth of poultry products produced in Florida each year. Georgia and North Carolina, which account for a quarter of the U.S. broiler chicken supply, were among the hardest hit. It is estimated that the storms in recent days have killed nearly 3 million chickens and thousands of pigs and cows across Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. In many areas, strong winds flattened poultry houses, with reports in Florida showing that about 1 in 7 broiler houses were damaged or destroyed. These losses were not only reduces poultry supplies immediately, but also hampers local production capacity for months or even years. Rebuilding housing and equipment will be costly and time-consuming. In addition, The impact of the storm also directly affects the supply of food and clean water, leading to the risk of disease outbreaks in surviving poultry. The livestock and dairy industries were not spared from the devastating storm. The storm destroyed large areas of pasture and many farms, causing large numbers of beef and dairy cattle to be scattered. In many, next month, producers will face more challenges due to reduced feed supplies. The aftermath of the storm was massive flooding, which could sweep away hundreds of farm animals. There were many accidental footages of animals being swept away by the flood to show how severe the damage was. Not only livestock are affected, but fruit and nut farms are also not immune to storm surges or flooding. Total fruit and nut production across Florida counties is about $1.9 billion a year. Georgia is the second largest blueberry producer in the United States, with an estimated value of $156 million a year. Florida accounts for 13% of the nation's strawberry production. All farms in the area, these are all heavily flooded. With this situation, it is certain that in the future, the cost of food and fruits in the US will skyrocket due to insufficient supply. Therefore, the US government must take effective post-storm recovery measures to ensure stable food supply and prices. Leading the recovery effort is the United States Department of Agriculture, or USDA, which has issued announcements to help farmers restore and rebuild their farms. If you are a farmer affected by the storm, please make a list of all the damage, record videos or photos to send to the USDA. This organization has programs to support farmers affected by natural disasters, such as providing low-interest loans, providing technical and financial assistance for long-term recovery plans. In addition, support for restoring infrastructure, emergency treatment of animals killed by the storm is also carried out to avoid environmental impacts and the risk of disease outbreaks. If you are a struggling farmer, contact your local USDA organization for help. Overall, the devastating storms have created serious and lasting hardships for American farmers, threatening their livelihoods, infrastructure, and future productivity. Hopefully, the storms will pass soon, and American farmers will be able to get back on their feet.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any useful information. See you in the next videos.
I'm getting full beating there. Oh, shit. I've got no way over there until we repair that, other than down through